Hey, what's up, folks? Live from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's Saturday night. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I heard earlier that I thought that a wrestling icon, an announcer passed away, but he didn't. We talk about good old JR. I'm an idiot. Please stay tuned, folks. I'll be back in a sec. Hey, we're gonna talk about good old JR. At least let me do it right. Now, anybody who's a true wrestling fan, JR started way back, I think, in WCW. Then he went to WWE for a long time. Him and Jerry King Lord, they are the kings when it comes to like commentary and broadcasting in wrestling. And he went to AEW. Just do that as well. For a time, he suffered a lot of health issues. One of them is Bell palsies, and I think he suffered from colon cancer. But if I seen this correctly, though, he recovered nicely, though. In fact, let me double sure about that. But good old JR. Yeah, he suffered from colon cancer, but now, according to report, JR is now cancer-free after undergoing surgery to treat colon cancer. That's like pretty cool. This he shared for Sports Illustrated. Make sure I got this information correctly. You didn't hear that. Boy, you didn't hear that. Wow, you did not hear that, folks. Let's see. Here we go. This it says right here. Legendary AEW announcer Jim Ross shares he's cancer-free. Someone told me like a few days ago he died. I said, like, I would heard something from the other guys in the circle, but I checked it myself. It's like, no, he didn't die. He's cancer-free, in fact. He shared his colon cancer diagnosis last month. And I imagine he had some surgery to take care of that. Over a month after legendary AEW commentator Jim Ross announced that he was diagnosed with colon cancer, he has shared that he is now cancer-free after undergoing surgery. He revealed the good news while speaking on his podcast, Grilling JR. His goal now is to work at the AEW All In pay-per-view event at Global Life Field in Arlington, Texas on Saturday, July 12th. This happened already, though. This happened like a while back. We talk about next year, though. Let me see if I look this correctly. Yeah. June. Yep, this happened like this past June, and he's like cancer-free and all that. It also says, I'm glad I came through without any complications. I'm very blessed in that regard, Ross said in his podcast. I feel pretty good, actually. So I hope I make it to Texas. My plan is to be there, so I have to wait and see. This is like been talked about from June. Let me see if I can find something more recent, though, so that I know what's the total update. That's pretty unusual. That's June, anything after June. Okay, you got July 7th. I'm going to stay on top because supposedly he must be cancer-free since this past June, which is always a good thing. But I try to find something more recent, though, so I know beyond shadow of a doubt. Because, like, you can't go on, like, online because, let's face facts, nothing's 100% accurate. Not even TMZ these days. I would ask the AI, and the AI said that Jim Ross is currently alive and still doing fine at AEW. So either way, Mr. Jim Ross, I'm glad you're alive and well. And thank you, sir. Hats off to you because you provide a great slobber knocker of your wrestling broadcast and all the great, times you show us between like from WCW, WWE, and AEW. So, sir, keep on rocking. Hold on a sec. Okay. Don't want to lose the other hat. Yep. I like this hat. Thank you, Alex. You know who he is. Anyway, though, see. Bottom line, I will talk about some things that came to my attention. Maybe go like, what the heck happened here and why? Why? For starters, we talk about Jimmy Kimmel. First, he was off the air because of some very false lie saying that the shooter of Charlie Kirk, he's a MAGA guy. No, he's not. Even though his mom and dad is conservative, the kid's been radicalized to think leftist, and basically he's been pretty much been like, radicalized to a point to where like he had to do something about Charlie Kirk. Something pertaining to his trans lover, something like that. And I'm going like, he still at the end of the day took a life of a man whose only crime is speaking his voice. And Charlie Kirk did the most dangerous thing when it comes to speaking. He talked about gender. That's dangerous enough as it is. He talked about religion or relationship with Christ. That too is even more dangerous. Well, that's extremely dangerous. And another one is also just, well, I'm not saying it's the most dangerous, but it's still extremely dangerous is politics. So you got those three things: gender, politics, and religion. And he debate them. I give the man credit. He debate them. But because he has a difference in opinion, he's no longer alive. Or because he speaks his truth, he's no longer alive. And the sad thing is it's not going to stop with Charlie. This is the terrifying part. It's not going to stop with Charlie. Just the fact this happened on our soil like this, it's not like a foreign national came here and took out Charlie. A U.S. citizen took out another U.S. citizen by having a different opinion. Now, people complain like, that, we're in danger, we are so, no, we're not. But that's the fact that someone just took a shot at Charlie to take him out. I'm sorry, as a Christian, I'm a little concerned. I'm not saying we're on the same danger level as, like, say, the Christians would be like in China, Russia, and in the Middle Eastern countries and all that, or North Korea. I'm not saying we're at that level yet, but just that you hear that, someone's life is in danger and some people getting death threats and all that, yeah, that's not comforting. But then again, we was told by Christ to proclaim the gospel without fear or to death even. Which Charlie did. I had to give the man kudos. He's a very brave man, and God bless his soul for being that brave, doing what it does. But here's the funny thing. Jimmy Kimmel's show was suspended for a short amount of time, but they brought it back. Surprise, surprise. They got those that left laughing, thumbing their nose like, oh, it hurt. Did it hurt? Yeah, we got a guy back. You don't have the guy back. You're right. You got your guy back like he wasn't shot. What about Jimmy Kimmel still do your show? He wasn't in any mortal danger. Let that sink in, people. Jimmy Kimmel was never, I mean never, in mortal danger. Never. I had no idea how much danger Charlie was in until the day they took his life. I had no idea. I was like, wow. And the part that disturbs me, they make jokes on it. They make fun of him. They mock his death. They mock his wife's suffering. I'm thinking like, wow. But here's the scary thing. I'd love to be surprised that those on the left are like that. And here's the can I be blunt though? I'm not gonna say every single man and woman on the left is that black-hearted. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that with a straight face. Not every single one of them. But the ones who are running their mouth, talking to them, those are the ones you gotta watch for. The loudest voices are the one that get the most attention and sucks up on the oxygen. I know the other people who are Democrats are on the sidelines. Now they think it, they're hearing all this. And believe it or not, some of them are thinking. And the ones up top, they don't want them to think. Especially people of color. Oh, I'll get to that one soon. I promise you that. I'll get to that soon. But in terms of Jimmy Kimmel being canceled, if you think about it, they had to bring him back. Those who left, they had to bring him back. Wonder why? The moment that they take him off the air, and it's permanent, that's going to start the domino effect. Then other questionable shows that's, causing problems may be next. They need something. They need to keep Kimmel alive at all costs. But here's the reality. Jimmy Kimmel's not all that funny. Are you serious? I mean, come on. He's nothing like a Johnny Carson. Nothing like a David Letterman. Really? Jay Leno would be embarrassed to be in the same stage as this guy. Seriously? No. Unbelievable. And another thing, too, I think is pretty funny, though. The moment Jimmy Kimmel supposedly exercised his freedom of speech, he's canceled. But yet, somebody else did that, and they got canceled permanently. Now, I'm going to bring up Roseanne Barr briefly. And I know you're going to say, oh, she's a racist. She said by Johnny Depp. Here's the thing. Roseanne Barr messed up. I'll be the first one to say she says she did a very stupid. She did a very stupid thing. She said she deserved to get fined. She deserved to be suspended for X amount of time. But she wanted to apologize. How is it that Paula Deen can apologize and keep her show, but Roseanne, not only they fired her, they killed her character off. I'm like, whoa, that's dark. That's dark even for them. If I heard the rumors, the keywords is rumors, I got to look into it. Supposedly, I think even Michelle Obama talked to Bob Iger about having Roseanne taken off permanently. I'm thinking, wow. But meanwhile, Jimmy Kimmel run his mouth about Charlie Kirk's death and try to trivialize that thing like, and they brought in Donald Trump's name on, saying like, yeah, okay, so Trump has a right to feel a certain way. You can't blame Trump. He has a right to say like, what's going on? Come on. But it seems like those who are left have no problem running their mouths saying like, yeah, this, that, and the third. The more for those who are right go like, yeah, that's a problem. Now, going back to an incident that happened on the fire where Jesse really laid into Jessica Tarloff, what about this? What about that? Here's what I will say. There are those on the right who's on the fringes that we want nothing to do with. We're told like they're dead wrong. Yes, they identify themselves as right wingers, but we don't rock with them. No way. We are a bit embarrassed and ashamed to deal with them. And we would say that. We would tell that. We would say that. But those left to pretend they don't exist. I say, I'm sorry, the person who did that, he followed your left-wing ideology right there. So what are you talking about? I'm not saying I'm not saying the right is perfect. No way, and there's no way. But the left, it has to be perfect because it's what they are, at least in their heads. But like I said, Charlie Kirk is not a racist. He helped one man to get to the black leadership, I think, convention and stuff like that. I posted my other links. In fact, I'm going like, wow. And he was in a lot of pictures with a lot of African Americans. Time out. If Charlie Kirk is a racist, why is around all these black folks then? I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, you can't be serious. Candace Owens is one of his close friends. She was heartbroken. She's trying not to fall apart. Talk about Charlie Kirk after Charlie Kirk died of his injuries, after he was assassinated. She was falling apart. But yet Charlie Kirk's a racist. Right. Same party who that Lyndon B. Johnson, while he did help with the civil rights movement, the guy's also a full-blown open racist. And in case people have forgotten, what about Joe Biden? He says a very questionable racist thing, and for some third reason, those on the left got amnesia. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you give us proof? Well, okay. And moments I get receipts, it's fake. Sure it is. Meanwhile, what you say is gospel, believe it, take it or leave it. I leave it. How's that? Please. But as for the situation here with Charlie Kirk, like it's sad. But like I said before in my other video, am I surprised by those on the left who make for enjoying credit. Am I surprised those people? I'm not. And I tell you why I'm not shocked or surprised. These are the same people who applauded when talk about certain abortion. They applauded. They applauded the deaths of unborn babies. Are you serious? He was unborn. These are the same people who had no problem defunding the police until the body count starts stacking up. People are crying for help and all that. Until it's like, you know what? Election coming up. We better do something quick. Too little, too late, geniuses. By the time you decided to do something about crime, yeah, election came when it's like, you know, we're not going to wait anymore. We had enough. Oh, yeah, you had to probably try to mess with the genders of the kids. Give the kids choice, like, you want to be a boy or girl. You don't give them those choices. What, you stupid? You must have told the kids, what do you want to have to eat? You want to have some salad? You want some fresh greens and all that? No, they want to eat candy and junk food 24/7, given the opportunity. The idea is to raise the kids in certain directions, so that way, as adults, they make very intelligent, informed decisions. Unfortunately, we got some parents who could barely raise themselves, let alone their kids. I swear, man, like self-fundraising, California is looking worse and worse each year. It's like, I'm surprised you haven't slid in the ocean yet. Then there's one thing I found that made my flesh crawl, and that tells me that this person who pulled this doesn't have a soul and is heartless as heartless can be. I thought I see it all. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the situations where I thought I see it all until I saw the video. I said, like, there's no way. But this one here, I call, she should be in prison for this. What I'm talking about, well, it has something to do with paternity fraud. So check this out, folks.
Own people, dude. My 16-year-old just found out that his dad isn't his real dad anymore because of my bitter ass sister.
Bitter. Yeah, just keep listening.
She claims it's for his own good, but in what way is that for his own good? When I found out I was pregnant with my son, I made the logical choice to pick the father that made the most money.
Logical? You mean financial? Get out of here. So basically, is that picking the actual biological father? You're going to pick a man that makes more than the biological father, but there's more.
His real dad was working at McDonald's for like $8.25 an hour. I don't want that as a man. He was just one of my hoes.
One of his hoes. Ladies and gentlemen, does that look like a pimp to you? You serious? The delusion in that one here is incredible and painful. Well, let's go on.
And that was that. And I got pregnant, and so I picked the richer dad. And
yeah, you heard it. The richer dad. How many guys she been messing with? Sounds like she's like a graduate for this. She's a graduate from the Sprinkle Woman. But keep watching, folks. Keep watching.
Although the richer dad didn't take care of him and hasn't been around, he does pay child support, and he pays a lot, and it pays for a majority of my rent.
Okay, you heard that. He pays for a majority of her rent and some of the money of the kid, even though it's not his. But yet you wonder why I keep telling it every chance I get. The mandatory paternity test. I'll put it this way, though. There's two types of women when it comes to mandatory paternity tests. There's two types of women who, when it comes to the mandatory paternity test, those who are for the mandatory paternity test, these women are secure. These women are like, yes, that means like my brother, cousin, uncle, best friend. They're covered. They're protected. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is his kid, undisputed, or if not, his woman got some explaining to do. And you got those who has a problem with it. That means she gotta be honest. That means she can't be sneaking behind his back. She can't be cheating on him. Or that means, worst of all, she's gonna get busted. And it's gonna be bad on her. And he happens to be married to the same person. Oh, forget it. He had to worry about child support because the kid's not his. And alimony, that's out the window. So imagine with the mandatory paternity test, they're going to change some of the marriage laws too. That's what some of these insecure women are terrified of. But let's keep going.
Well, my sister never liked that, and I finally let her have my son thinking I could trust the bitch. And
I imagine those two have some beef, those two sisters.
she tells my son and confides in him that his dad isn't his real dad. And now he went and found his real dad behind my back with my sister. And they are all trying to fight and get my son taken away from me. My son.
Because you commit paternity fraud, you idiot. Do you understand the concept of paternity fraud? This woman should be in prison for a very long time. If her son's child support thing was to go for 18 years, that's how long she should go in prison, 18 years. To all the dads out there, this is what you're going to be dealing with. Peace over drama.
Doesn't want to live in my house. We haven't talked in 3 days. I think it's the most miserable thing a person can ever do.
Yeah, it is the most miserable thing a person can ever do, and that's deny the son the true identity of his true biological father in the name of your personal financial greed.
Is ruin some shit like that. I picked the right choice. I had now who's gonna pay?
No, you didn't. You picked the choice for you, not for your son. You picked the choice so the man makes more money. Guess what? Now you're having problems. Keep listening.
My bills now, because now they also told that the guy that's been on child support all these years, and he's trying to come after me and sue me for all the money he's been paying.
Oh, wow. Hold a sec. You see this, folks? You see this? That's me playing the world's smallest violin. Where?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I didn't do anything wrong here.
Except commit paternity fraud. I gotta repeat that one more time. You committed paternity fraud. Repeat after me. Fraud. Paternity fraud. Like I said, mandatory paternity test gotta be the law of the land. Gotta be. Well, like I said, you got women who are gonna fight against it, say, "Oh, you don't trust us?" No. You know it's bad when other women say, you know it's bad when other women say, "Yeah, we don't trust you," and you can't blame them because they know who these women are fooling around with. So, but as for those, P. Diddy, he could be. I got a question coming to P. Diddy. So, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Here's my question, folks. P. Diddy, what holiday you think he might be out in time for? Thanksgiving or Christmas? Because I still look back how like prosecutors did a very crappy job of prosecuting him. How on earth did you get him for the lesser charges and not for the RICO charges? How do you got R. Kelly on that and not P. Diddy? In my opinion, I think P. Diddy's a bigger threat than R. Kelly. I'm not saying it's a good thing. And either way, R. Kelly's in prison, no matter what. But my feeling that P. Diddy's going to be out. He's going to be possibly out at the very latest by Christmas, at the latest. Because they think like, well, he should be in jail for me about like 14 months, which means worst case scenario, by the end of next month or beginning of November, he's out. So the big question is, folks, what is Diddy going to do? Now, I'm going to safely assume he's not going to do the same exact thing he did before he got busted. I strongly doubt it. I'd be shocked. Seriously, I'd be deeply shocked if Sean Diddy Combs all of a sudden picked up where he left off from and do what he does best. I strongly doubt it. I strongly doubt it. Because I've been told somebody he tried to do the same thing with the freak off party, stuff like that. I strongly doubt it. Now, in terms of making music, yes. He can still make music. He still owns Bad Boys, I think. And he still see a Bad Boys record. He can do like whatever he wants, pump up albums like crazy. There's still some artists who still talk to him, work with him, and all that stuff. So once you got like some people who work with him on albums, he'll still make that money. And I know for a fact he still owns Biggie's music. He could crank up Biggie's music forever. He could do tons of remixes and still make money. But other than that, though, like I said, right now things are going to be a bit weird though because probably can't believe this happened. You know that Charlie Kirk's a fairly young guy in his 30s, and to be taken all because he has this freedom of speech. I'm glad this is going to end this. Then I got have some questions for you guys. It's kind of amazing because Charlie Kirk has an opinion, a strong opinion about something his life will be taken. But strange enough, people who go on social media like TikTok, Instagram, say some very messed up things about Charlie Kirk's death, mocking, making fun of it. There's some people getting fired for it and getting upset, saying, "Hey, you infringed upon my freedom of speech." Time out. Didn't you infringe on the rights and freedom of speech of those on the left? So you mean to tell me that those on the left is incapable of doing wrong or saying anything wrong? They're incapable, but only those on the right is capable of being wrong, saying wrong, and doing bad things. Only those on the right. That don't seem fair or correct. But keep in mind, I think similar tactics has been used many years ago. I think it been used to go I think during World War II. I'm not gonna mention names, but you know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. They shifted blame on one party and one huge group of people, pointing fingers at us they're wrong, they're bad, and the cycle went on and on and on. It got so bad, but these people are looked upon as demons and looked upon as low value and all that, to a point to where when they decided, you know what, let's take care of it permanently, a lot of people mobilized to do it. Yeah, that should make you feel a little concerned. Political violence is not exactly a new thing, unfortunately, and it's like a bad set of luggage. It's here to stay. Sad, but it shouldn't be like that. But as for Charlie Kirk, I said before, I say it again. You may have silenced the messenger, but that message is not only going to go on stronger, it's going to spread further and faster than ever before. You may inadvertently raised up an army. This army is not going to stop till his message is preached to all ends of the earth. I said what I said. Once again, folks, I want to thank you for my riding, guys. If things go right and get close to being right to what I try to accomplish by the end of next month, I'll let you know. Well, yeah, by the end of next month, I'll let you know. If I can make this happen, I'll be impressed. So I can't say what it is till I get the project done. This take a lot of time and energy, but if I get it done, I need you folks to help me get to 10,000. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very hard. I'm lucky to get over 5,000. I need your help to help me go over 10,000. Try and make a living from this if I can. Like I said, I gotta try before, for tomorrow. Before right now it's past midnight. I'm gonna try to get this done sometime this afternoon. Can I get this dedicated email this week with JTT? .com, or at least the email address at least, so that way you have any questions for me, you want to send me videos I can respond to, there's the email address. So until then, folks, I want to thank you for being there for me. Before I do anything else, let me check something at my Facebook. I didn't have time to check my Facebook all this time, running my mouth and all that stuff. Let me see if anything on Facebook, but I probably missed it. Last few times I've gone to my Facebook Live, and hold on, I probably missed a ton of messages saying "Yeah, man, how come you don't respond?" Cause I keep forgetting to go on Facebook. That's why. Check real carefully. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Here we go. See. Hold it. Here we go. Okay. To my fiance. Love you very much, Christine. Love you very much, my love. Okay, but back here. Okay, I got 11 views. Yay. Okay, other than that, though, once again, folks, I say thank you. And like I said, a lot of fun things will be coming soon. So on this note, I'm going to say stay blessed, stay safe. And as for you men, you future kings, peace over drama. Later. And we'll be out of here at 3.